Millionaire Matchmaker in the US. Like that pretty much, you know.
At least they know what they're after.
Yeah.
A freaking millionaire.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Or Baby Wants a Sugar Daddy. I would fucking watch the shit out of that.
Oh, yeah.
That would be great.
You know what I mean? Like, just there are some absolute queens on the gram that know how to hustle, and just seeing, like, you know, just I want more. You remember Anna Nicole Smith's husband?
Yeah. Isn't he like
Anna Nicole Smith was like the original sugar baby. She was like Playboy model from like the late 90s, early 2000s, and she was married to this Texan straight up billionaire, and the dude just wouldn't die. Like, he wouldn't die.
She's dead, isn't she? I can't remember.
Yeah, they're both dead. But, you know, I think she died before she
life.
got his money or something. So it was a real struggle. The sugar turned to caramel and it stayed hard for a while. She didn't get to enjoy it. But yeah, I think they need to reassess these shows.
Yeah, I don't understand this. I love that that's like all these ideas from other places, and Australia is just like farmers. Australia wants to see farmers.
It seems like something the Americans would love. Like, they've got this weird Republican middle belt of farming.
I
they're
feel
so
like their
funny,
farmers
like they're
are
corn
cool.
farmers.
Yeah.
Like, it seems so odd. Grace, you seem to be, for me, which is absolutely fair and reasonable, someone who sort of actively goes away from reality TV, which is a thing that every single one of my friends do. I know that you work in the media, and a lot of the time, you know, you probably would have heard from some content directors or, you know, that you need to increase your profile, and a simple way to do that is to maybe jump on Survivor or maybe try to go onto Big Brother. If there was a show that you think you would be able to give a punt, what would it be?
I have been asked this before, and I always said Survivor, but now that I've like actually looked at what you have to do in Survivor, I'm like, I wouldn't survive any of these shows. I would cry all the time.
I want you to name 3 people from Survivor also.
Exactly.
Survivor seems to be the most respectful, but no one fucking knows anyone from Survivor. Survivor is the real biggest loser.
Yeah. Oh,
because everyone just loses weight.
That's really dark, man.
No, as in, like, no one goes on Survivor and comes out fat.
Yeah, that's...
Like, they all just get absolutely shredded.
That's the only reason I'd go on, so that I can get shredded.
Meat.
Shredding for stereo. It's fucking gold.
I just know that I wouldn't survive reality television like, I wouldn't be interesting to watch. I would cry all the time.
Good.
You're
already a top rating contestant.
I cry all the time too, don't worry.
Jess, have you ever been approached in terms of the I'm a celeb, get me out of here world, or any of those? Like, because I know that, like, Britain has a interest in Australian reality TV stars in the same way that Australia has an interest in the British reality TV stars. Have you ever looked down that lane?
I have. I would love to do I'm a Celebrity. My manager is he constantly is trying to work out other deals and things like that. But I did say to him the only other show that I would do is I'm a Celebrity. I don't want to do Dancing with the Stars, or someone asked me if somebody said, would you do Love Island? And like, I just feel like no.
Yes, do Love Island. Stop being a coward. Give the people what they want. They want sheer bodysuits.
Like, I would actually, if Love Island would be fun.
Okay, so disregard.
I want you to think about you on Love Island, Jess, and you're there, you're in your little villa, you're absolutely just glowing with island love. 3 guys from 3 different, from whatever, 3 guys rock up. Who are your top 3 dudes? And you can't know them. You don't know them. You've never met them personally. There's just an inkling in your mind that maybe it'd work.
What, do I have to say who I think is hot?
Not hot, but just like, who would you be? Someone you'd be like, you know what? I'd give that a run. See how we go. We'd share a Bulla banquet together.
Oh, I don't know.
Just because, like, I already know all of the reality people.
I can't remember. I want the new Bachelor. I want him.
Lockie?
Yeah. Can someone please let me know if you still these with the yellow person? Because if not,
I feel like you should know this. After this comes out, I'm sure he's going to DM you and just be like, "Yo, babe, 6'5".
I saw you on Takeover.
Yeah,
I'm ready.
Him. You know what? Like, as much as you hate Ciarran, I like him.
He'd have to have some decent skill in the bedroom for so many people to be lining up for a run.
He would know exactly what he was doing because he's had plenty of practice.
But also, he tends to only think about himself and the results that impact him. So I don't know if he would be a selfish lover or because I think he's a little bit of a sociopath, he would actively try to give you enjoyment so you tell your friends so then he can get more benefits from it. It's a nuanced world, the horny brain of Ciarran. What do you think of the new pink hair?
Holy crap, that's so funny.
Do you like his new hair?
I hate his new hair.
Yes.
Yeah, I see it in the hair and I'm like, babe, what are you doing?
I fuck with it heavily. I'm like...
Really?
No,
I mean, I'm a dude with like the man bun, so anytime a hotter dude with a man bun gets rid of it, I'm like, cool. I'm now one more up from the bottom. Like, it just helps me out a little bit.
Yeah.
So when he was at that hairdresser, I know like 4 other people that were there at the same time. So it was like him, I think Ciarran, also got her hair done, or someone else got her hair done. And then I had 2 of my mates who aren't like in reality TV or anything. They were all at this hairdresser. I'm like, where the far out? Like, where is this hairdresser?
Where was it?
Everyone goes. It's like Edwards and Co.
Oh, Edwards and Co.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Edwards
Yeah,
and
okay,
Co,
classic.
something like that. And I was like, is this like the celebrity hotspot to get your hair done or something?
It is.
Okay, good to know. My best mate who's a TAFE student to cut my hair and stuff.
Oh, dude, I booked an Edwards and Co. cut and it's really emasculating for me because they're like, I'm like, hi, can I book a haircut? And they're like, yeah, that'll be $80. And I'm like, just letting you know I sort of have long hair. And they're like, that'll be fine, all good. And then I get there on the day and I have fucking long hair. And they're like, we're going to have to charge you ladies' prices. And I'm like, that's fine. You could have just not said anything and I'd be fine with it. You don't have to announce to the whole place that I'm getting a lady's haircut just because I have long hair. Thank you very much.
Wow.
Yeah. And I'm like, yeah.
That's
It's
on
embarrassing.
Celebrity Hairdressers. Jeez.
I wouldn't mind Celebrity Hairdressers as a show.
Hey, that'll be good.
Hey, Jess, have you ever been to the Candyshop Mansion?
Ha!
Oh,
Funny story about this one.
yes.
Yes,
I knew
another
it.
Jess story.
So, I got invited to the Candy Mansion for a movie night with, this has already been through media and stuff, but to go like to one of the parties, and
With
Oh,
Tristan
I
or the old bloke?
by the old guy, but I didn't want to go by Travis because I
That's right.
hooked up with his son.
Yeah, his son is a tall, good-looking lad.
But yeah, so Valentino and I have already hooked up together, so I just thought, I think it's a bit weird if it comes then to hang out with your dad. Like, is it like?
Well, he never roots anyone, doesn't he? He just sort of like sits around.
I don't know what he does. I don't like the whole concept of it. I think it's a little bit trashy. So want to
yeah.
go? Like that would just put a really bad. Like, I mean, my brand isn't amazing, but I can go and hang out with
She's self-aware.
in like a
That's
mansion and have like orgies and I just don't get it. Like I don't get it. I can go on to this forever, but I just think
yeah.
they've got young kids. He's got young daughters that
Yeah.
have like, good mums.
No, it's interesting. I
Good
like all the
principles.
hosting for Sexpo. So his son came on the sort of like the Sexpo thing. And isn't he like 19?
Shut up.
Jessika.
Get it,
I didn't know
girl?
how old he
They
was
were
until
younger.
we're only like kids.
Snatch that cradle, sister.
Damn.
But I was
I
like,
get it.
oh,
He's like,
shit. I
he's
was
a
like,
real
yeah,
good
he's
looking
19,
dude.
yeah, and I was like, oh no.
No, not like this.
Oh
He's
well,
a good
10
guy.
years younger. What can you do?
Look, guys hook up with younger girls. You're fighting the patriarchy by switching it around, so I applaud you. And also, the Candyshop Mansion, for those who's not aware, it's basically Australia's Aldi version of the Playboy Mansion. The guy who owns Free Choice, which is a tobacconist, which you may see around in like sub-Westfields. He has this big mansion, very Versace gouache, like 90s style, gold sequin, everything, very Versace-ish. And he sort of just invites babes to lie around. They don't seem to do anything. It's really interesting. I look forward to the documentary. Like, it'd be something that Vice would do a great documentary of, I imagine.
I'd love to see that.
Read an article. Like one of the girlfriends, she spoke out about the mansion.
Yeah, so he's got
Damn.
a couple of wives or something.
Pardon?
He's got a couple of wives or something, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's got a few girlfriends. He gets girlfriends, but when you're a girlfriend, you're not allowed to work. You're not allowed. It's basically like a roster. You have like a roster of like chores.
Being a girlfriend is a job.
You have to like every now and
Emotional labour is a thing, sis.
they upload these really elaborate videos on Instagram.
Don't you have to get a Free Choice tattoo on your butt?
I don't know. I think it's very degrading to women, actually. So.
I mean, I applaud any woman who does it with a free, sound mind and gets what she needs from it. You know, like, I don't want to say everyone who's going there is obviously being taken advantage of, because, I mean, if you want to hang out in the Gold Coast in a mansion, get everything paid for,
I know the place for you.
You know, that's great, because I tell you what, who's not getting that offer? This guy.
Yeah, no.
So what's the last show that we were doing the thing on, Grace? I saw 3 shows.
Yeah. Anyone been watching Ninja Warrior? Anyone?
Oh, fuck off.
What?
Fit healthy people can absolutely suck me off. I'm sitting here. I've put on weight in lockdown. I can barely get to my bed without pulling a hammy. I don't need to watch some Paralympian who lifted a car off a sick baby do a course that makes it's the opposite of Inez. They make me feel shit. Inez makes me feel good.
It's a long night of filming. Like, okay, so where they filmed last season was just down the road from my house. So obviously I'm hearing all of
Where did they film it?
They were filming in Melbourne, like last year in my neighbourhood. This year they're at Flemington.
I watch all of these shows.
No, I don't. I was
just living it.
Catch up TV, Jess. It's catch up TV. It's great. I watched the highlights on YouTube.
Too much catch up TV. No, but they were filming down the road from my house, so obviously we get given free passes, even though it's like you don't pay anything for tickets. But there was one night they had to postpone because of the weather, and so we had to do it on a Sunday night. I just played a game of basketball and I busted my ass to get to the filming. Then we were there until like 4 a.m. and I had to leave. Like my best friend, who's a couple of blocks behind me, she was like, yeah, we were there till 4 and you left at 2. They said only like 20 more minutes left of filming and then you're done. They were there until 4 o'clock, like 4 a.m. But I'm looking at this, I'm like, a lot of these contestants are there from God knows what time during the day, and then some of them aren't going on until 4 a.m. It's whack. It's
that's how it always works.
Yeah.
I remember the very first time I went and watched Gladiators, if you remember that show from 20 years ago. I was like 7 and we went to filming at 2 p.m. and we got out at 1 a.m. And I was like, I don't care how much you love Tanya Zayeda, Dad. I don't want to be here for 12 hours. It was hectic.
That's like one of the biggest things about TV that people don't understand, is that a lot of it is just sitting around. Even like dramas and like not reality TV or whatever, all TV. It just takes a freaking long time.
Yeah, it does.
Jess, what were your filming days like on maths also?
Our days on maths were grueling. We would start sometimes anywhere 9, 10 o'clock in the morning and finish the next day at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, I was about to say that's a really, really easy start. But the 4 a.m., that sucks.
It got you.
Like you just said, like you do sit around for a lot of it, and you know what? Like unless we were eating at the actual dinner party during filming, all we would get given is chocolate and chips and water.
Oh no, chocolate and chippies.
And hydration.
Diet on that.
No, I know what you mean. You need that low GI energy that keeps you sustained.
Do you know what? It was probably why I was also always so angry on that show, because I didn't
it was actually a tactic by the producers.
No food, so much booze, great drama.
I remember when I was talking to the producers of Big Brother, and they were saying that dietitians, because we get, groceries given to us. Like it was like, here's your staples. You eat this when you don't win a challenge for the week, and we would just have just shit, and I'd be like, this is abnormal food. This isn't normal food that people eat. And it was after I got out and I became I worked with them the next season, and they were like, yeah, it's specifically the lowest possible energy, lowest possible fiber, so you all get constipated, and you all just have really short, high GI energy that gives you bursts, and then you crash. So you fight and you bicker and you argue.
Damn.
Wait, with producers in regards to 2 different shows here, Big Brother, Maths, what's the producers like in each show for you, whether it's individually or as a team or the show? Yeah.
Well, with Married at First Sight, each couple had their own individual producer, because you film for 4 months. You start to develop. They need to develop a relationship with you. They need me to trust them to tell them how I feel. They need to be if I'm sitting behind a camera and someone's going, oh, what are you going to do about if Mick finds out about Dad, or do you have feelings for somebody else? And I want to feel like I trust the person that I'm talking to. Like, even though it's so stupid because it ends up on TV anyway, but they have to build like a mental trust with you, I guess, so they get things out of you, like, because you could hold it a lot. Whereas, so I had a really good relationship with my producer, so I would tell her everything.
Yeah, it's quite funny. There's one of the producers who was on my season, The Big Brother. She lives about 10 doors down from me, and she produces Survivor. She's a senior producer for Southern Endemol now. And so we'll go down and she'll have chats about certain things. And I always find interesting is, and Jess, you might remember this, there's a lot of sort of younger female producers.
Yeah.
And they're insanely personable. They are fantastically giving and listening and emotionally attentive.
Yes.
From the Big Brother world, quite a few of the guys sort of end up having entanglements with the production stuff, because you all become friends on Instagram afterwards, and they do because there's a weird world where post-reality TV, you'll understand this, Jess, not a lot of people understand what you've been through, and sharing a connection with whether it be Bachelor people, that's probably why they all have this incestuous world, because it may seem dumb, but it is a interesting life experience, and sharing that with someone else, it's a connector, which is fine. And the producers are like the happy medium for people that don't want to go down the famous group blue tick world, but they also would like to have, to be able, like a normal person who's, a pharmacist isn't going to be able to have the conversations about sharing those experiences. So a producer or people who've worked within the production team are always an interesting contact. So that's an interesting one that I always found.
When you talk about like those relationships as well, like there's a rumor going around that one of the contestants on BIP this season is actually with a producer or something like that. And I was like,
you wouldn't be surprised.
Like
the relationships.
I'm like, going back to like the American show Unreal, where it goes into all that shit that happens in American TV, it actually does transpire over to Australian TV, whether it's BIP or Bachelor, Bachelorette, Love Island, Survivor, like all those shows.
Your producers are your best friends when everyone's against you.
Yeah,
when you're doubting yourself, they're telling you that Australia loves you. When you are thinking about leaving, they're telling you that you won't believe the opportunities that are going to be there. But if you walk out now, it's all going to fall apart. Like, they are the worst people in the world, but it's their job and they're the best at it. It's crazy.
I worked in kids TV, and one of my producers came from reality. And so she would treat me like a reality contestant, and I would just cry. I was like, I don't know why you're yelling at me. I just don't know what you're trying to. And she's like, oh, I just wanted you to give this emotion. And I was like, but now I'm crying. And
and also you're like, I'm a talented, like, I'm trained. I'll give you the emotion. You don't need to get it out of me.
Yeah, it fully had to be like a conversation where I was like, okay, so this is my issue. You make me cry every day, and we need to do something about that. And she's like, I'm so sorry. I don't know why. And I was like, I think it might be because that's just what you're used to. But we figured it out. We smoothed it over, and things are fine. And
you've also just had a crash course education in the world of reality TV this week. So, Stuff University. You're getting it from your lecturers, Jess, Krystal, and Michael.
I'm going to become a reality producer.
Dropping some knowledge bombs. Isn't it fucked that we know so much about something so inconsequential? Like, why are we not learning to code? Stuff that. Let's talk about reality TV.
I really know some stuff.
Like, it's weird because, like, I was watching, I did not get TikTok for so long, and then I finally, stupidly downloaded it. Anyway, there was around. Yeah, I know, right?
Crossed over.
There was a TikTok going around that a teacher was teaching Australian kids, or his class, sign language. And I'm like, that is such a better way to teach kids a language rather than something international. Like, yeah, I know it does come in handy, don't get me wrong. But the fact that, he's spreading this thing on TikTok being like, you should be teaching your kids in your classrooms sign language because, it's probably like the second most used language, I'm going to say.
My brain is like, where the fuck did Krystal get this story from?
Where is she going with it?
Like, did someone mention Auslan? I'm like, fuck, I wasn't listening.
And then anyway, sign language is very good.
But it's like, no, but like social media, reality TV, like everything is all intertwined. They're all connected. And it's like,
there it is.
Great wrap up,
It's
Krystal.
coming.
You just synced it up.
That was
You've ended
good.
this perfectly. Like Donald Trump is ending TikTok's reign in the USA.
God. But reality TV lives on.
As long as the brains of the world's citizens are cursed, so will the TV screens.
Well, guys, thank you for educating me. I genuinely learnt a lot. And wow, and now I am being exposed to even more. Is this what Bachelor in Paradise?
That's right.
Because maybe I should start watching.
Yeah.
Damn. But yes, thank you, Krystal. Thank you, Jessika. And thank you, Michael. You are something else. I really appreciate your time and your stories.
Guys.
Do more. Take more off.